What's going on, everyone? So Rui Hachimura is a very kind of curious case, right? Like, he's a guy that can have a huge impact on this Lakers team. To his credit, has evolved into kind of just that ideal off-ball player. He's one of the best in basketball at that, being that slasher and cutter, catch and shoot three-point shooter. He's, like 43%, 40+% from three-point range the last few seasons. He's really evolved and adapted his game to kind of fit in with, Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and now Luka Doncic and LeBron James. But there's questions about, do we start him? Is he a guy that comes off the bench? Personally, I think you bring him off the bench. He has said he really doesn't care as long as he's getting the playing time. He really just cares about the playing time, who's closing games, finishing games, things like that. It's one thing to say that. It's another thing to actually buy into that, right? Because we've seen Rui check out when he goes to the bench before. Now, that was a couple seasons ago. Maybe he kind of understands, like, hey, we need some defense. We got a lot of offense type thing. So we'll see. There was also reports from Evan Sinery. Obviously, take everything with a grain of salt. We don't know for certain. But according to that report, Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart, and Jared Vanderbilt are the three guys being considered for that starting three spot, right? Regardless of LeBron or Rui. Because the question is, like, is that just while LeBron's out? Like, no, like, that's supposedly, based on the report, is what. So LeBron at the 4, and then one of those three guys, Jake LaRavia, Jared Vanderbilt, and Marcus Smart at the 3, because of the defensive side of things. If that's the case, Rui Hachimura wasn't mentioned in that. So does Rui already know? Does JJ Redick already know that, like, hey, Rui's coming off the bench, right? Now, obviously, as long as LeBron's out, Rui's probably starting. And it's possible Rui's just so good. Yeah, you got it. Maybe you do have to start him or figure it out, right? If he's out there and he's cooking and torching, like we've seen, particularly last game against the Warriors, like, do you kind of just go like, hey, maybe we do lean into Rui? So we'll see. There's a lot of questions that are going to still need to be answered. But one thing that I like that we're seeing from Rui is him being a lot more aggressive, and JJ Redick calling for him to be more aggressive. You think of this team, right? And we'll just add Rui as a starter for just argument's sake for a moment, right? You think of Austin Reeves or Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, DeAndre Ayton, right? And then Rui Hachimura, right? Like, Rui Hachimura almost every single night is going to either have the mismatch or the worst defensive player on him. Almost every single night, right? Because Luka Doncic is probably going to have the best defensive player on him. LeBron James, if they have a guy that can match up size-wise, probably has the second. Otherwise, it's Austin Reeves. Then the center is going to have to worry about DeAndre Ayton in his offensive game and Luka in his two-man game. And then you got to figure out LeBron James. Rui Hachimura is the last person on team's mind. Right? Rui Hachimura is either going to have the guy that's undersized, where he's just going to be able to bully him all game to the basket, or he's going to have the worst defensive player, where he's going to have the mismatch to get to the foul line, get to his spot, shoot over the top, right? He has one of the best mid-ranges in all of basketball, right? Like, Rui Hachimura has the potential to be, like, ridiculous for the Lakers if he's not settling. We see a lot of times him just settle. Now, part of that could just be the play design. Part of that could just be, he's like, hey, I got the ball, let me take the shot type thing rather than that. But him being more selective, him attacking closeouts, him being more aggressive to the basket. Look, I've talked about it for years, even dating back to Darvin Ham. I don't know why we don't, on occasion, run more offense through Rui, especially when the offense is stagnant. Right? Like, I was screaming for it in that Denver series because he more often than not had like a KCP on him or something like that, or a Michael Porter Jr., which, again, yes, those guys, Michael Porter Jr., he should be able to cook, but KCP, yes, is excellent defensively, but he doesn't have the size. Or we'd have times where Jamal Murray was on him. Cook that man. Put Rui on the block, get the ball down to him, and let him just bully his way into the basket. I love seeing what we've seen these last few games. Ruiz has been a lot more aggressive offensively. Whether his shot has fallen or not, he's been a lot more aggressive, which is good and opens things up, right? He also needs to, you also don't want to see him get too much tunnel vision, right? So he needs to make sure he's kind of keeping his head up and on a swivel as well. But again, you don't always have to settle for the 3. If you can get it off and you're open, take it. Course, right? You don't want to like catch the ball, you're wide open, and then wait for the defender to catch up and then try to beat him off through. No, you want to catch the ball. If you can get it, go. But if that defender is closing the gap, easy, step off dribble, he can rise up, shoot over the top, knock down the mid-range shot, and we're going the other way with the bucket. Right? Like, allow Rui to be that kind of engine for you. I'm not saying you have to run every play, every possession off of him, but to have a guy in Rui that is going to be an advantage player more often than not, which I think still applies to the bench, if not even greater, because now you probably don't have the best defensive players on the court. You're still going to have a LeBron, Rui, or LeBron, Luka, or Austin Reeves on the court at all times, one of them at least, if not two of them. So it puts Rui in a position to where he gets to be more aggressive, especially off the bench, right? For a team that was like dead last in bench scoring. It's also why I like the idea of Rui coming off the bench, because it's like, hey, go be the sixth man. Go win sixth man of the year. Right? Like if I'm JJ, I'm encouraging him like, hey, dude, go give us 20 a night off the bench. You have the ball, be aggressive, look for shot. Don't just shot chuck, right? Like take smart shots. But if you can hit and you catch fire, go do it. Feed the hot hand, right? We're going to run our offense through you more often when you're coming off the bench, right? And you can get more sequences, you get more plays off him. And the nights he's cooking, you just let him cook, right? Like the nights he's going and giving you 25 to 30, let the man cook. Here you go. Keep feeding the beast, right? The nights that he's having struggles, no problem. You can bring him. Hey, didn't have it this game, no issues. Got you back the next game. Let's go get this W, right? Like, and then you can kind of plug and play accordingly. The other thing is too, is like, what do the Lakers do as far as, trading him, signing him? Because look, he could just leave in free agency. I mean, Rui, I think, wants to stick around if he can, but again, it depends on the role he has. Like, is he okay coming off the bench? Like, the good thing is, we're gonna get to see. Obviously, not good. LeBron's out. You never want your second best player. I think Luka's better at this stage of his career, but one of your best players, however you feel about it, you never want to see that guy out, right? But what this does for the Lakers is it gives the Lakers a look at guys, particularly Rui Hachimura, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, like guys like that. How does this team look in a post-LeBron era, right? What does Rui look like as their starting four alongside DeAndre Ayton, Jared Vanderbilt, or Jake LaRavia, whomever at the three, Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic? Is this team good enough to potentially win? Or is this a team that's just, it's just not going to cut it? We're going to know, right? Like, LeBron misses 10 games or whatever. If Lakers are 7-3 and Rui's cooking and killing out there and this team's looking like they could beat anybody, it's a really good sign, right? It's like, man, we just, kind of get some depth, right? Like we're in good shape, right? We keep Rui cheap. He's at the 4 where he's better matched up defensively. He's kind of more of an advantage player because his ability to stretch the floor, shoot the 3 ball, right? Like, hey, we might be an Andrew Wiggins away, right? Even without LeBron, right? So again, it gives you the opportunity to see. Or there's the other side of that where it's like, yeah, this is not going to work, right? Like Rui just doesn't fit alongside DeAndre Ayton or, Luka, Austin, like there's not enough defense or whatever, right? Like there's 2 ways this is going to go. It's either going to be good enough to where you're like, yeah, we might have something here even in a post-LeBron era, but right now LeBron could be the difference putting us over the top. Or we're going to see and be like, yeah, I don't think this is it. I don't think Rui's going to work out. We need to look to trade him. I don't think, Reeves is going to work out. We need to look to trade him, right? Like you're going to learn pretty quickly, right? Like you at least have an idea, right? And you want to see the kind of growth and promise. Like I'm not expecting right out the gate game 1, Lakers drop 150 points and, blow out the Warriors by 50 and look like the best team in basketball, right? It'll be a progression, but there are things that you can take away and things that you'll be able to see that are just like unless that changes drastically, that's not going to work, right? Like, there's going to be things in that area, or you kind of see, it's like, it was a little rocky, but you can see the painting's a little blurry, right? You just need that viewfinder to kind of get it in order, right? We're right there. Like that, those kind of ways. And Rui right now is going to be a big part of that. Right, Rui's going to be a huge factor because Lakers have to make a decision on him too. I've talked a lot about Austin Reeves. Now the Lakers need to make decisions on Austin Reeves. Got to make a lot of decisions on Rui Hachimura as well. Like you're going to have to make some tough calls on Rui Hachimura as well. Are you trading him? Are you re-signing him? Is Is he willing to come off the bench? Okay, if he's willing to come off the bench and he's like, hey, you know, I'm fine being the sixth man for however long you need me to be. Right? I just want to stay around and be a Laker. Okay, beautiful. But like, how much does he want? Because you're not paying him $25 million to come off the bench. Right? So like, how much money does he want? Like, there's so many things that the Lakers are gonna have to figure out with Rui Hachimura. Does he fit with this team? Because the only two players I think are, assuming it works out, are absolute locks for the Lakers are DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic, right? Austin Reeves, I think, has the potential there, but I think it just depends on, you know, his fit. You know, like, I think Austin Reeves is as close, like, if we were doing tiers, right? I think Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton, if DeAndre Ayton continues to play to the level he plays, you solve your center position, right? Like, you're probably not going to get somebody better than DeAndre Ayton, especially for Luka Doncic. So I think DeAndre Ayton is about as close to a lock as possible, right? Austin Reeves, I think you could put in that argument, but I think it's a tier lower because I think if you could get the proper two-way guys slotted alongside those two, DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic, I think you could. And I think Austin Reeves is more replaceable than a DeAndre Ayton. If, again, DeAndre Ayton continues to play the way that we've seen, where he's giving you the effort, he's giving you the energy, he's playing the defense, and he's, 18-plus point a game guy. And I've also talked about, I could see DeAndre Ayton kind of just naturally rise to that third option just because he's playing alongside Luka, or while LeBron's out, the second option, and you kind of have that two-man game, which I think is going to be the best in all of basketball, add in Austin Reeves, right? Like, there's things that we need to see. But, like, Rui Hachimura, I don't think is on that list. Jake LaRavia, we'll see because he's so young. Jake LaRavia, and I said this when we got him, Jake LaRavia is better right now than Rui was when we got Rui, right? Because they were about the same age, if I'm not mistaken. They both were like 23 when we got him, right? But Rui was very raw. Jake LaRavia is still very raw, don't get me wrong, but he's better all around, right? So Jake LaRavia, I think, is in that conversation. I think Lakers will want to see, but he's just also new, so we kind of want a sample size. I just think, like, DeAndre Ayton's the one guy that you're probably not going to be able to replace. Right? Even if you went and got, like, a Nick Claxton or something like, or Daniel Gafford or something like those guys aren't better than DeAndre Ayton, especially with the buy-in that we're seeing him give you, right? So I just think context matters. But Rui's going to be very interesting because, again, Rui could play his way into, hey, we can't get rid of this guy, or he could play his way in, we need to ship him out immediately. Also, if he plays really well, does that kind of give the Lakers more incentive to trade him? It's another thought. But anyways, always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.